Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. We're here once again for another day of the horror movie scratch offs. And today we're talking from 2017, we're talking about Andy Muschietti's It. Now, this is a film that I saw this in theaters when it came out, and I've seen it numerous times since. But again, it was fun revisiting this film. Andy Muschietti, this film takes place in the summer of 1989, and Muschietti he just captures that feeling, that 80s feeling, end of 80s, going into the 90s type of feeling and vibe. And, seeing these friends have to come together in this film to battle Pennywise, who is played by Bill Skarsgård. And Skarsgård does his own thing. He doesn't try to be Tim Curry. People love Tim Curry's version of Pennywise from the It miniseries many, many years ago. But you know what? Skarsgård does his own thing, and he's been able to turn his version of Pennywise into quite the horror icon since his version came out in 2017. But this is a film that, like I said, it feels like the 80s, and the friendship just feels real between this group. Known everybody seems to call them the losers, and that's kind of what the group is calling themselves. They call themselves that. It's kind of like a group of outcasts and that are kind of brought together and fighting Pennywise. And some of them are friends already, and other friends join the group as the film progresses. But and the child actors in this movie are phenomenal. I mean, they are amazing, absolutely off the chart good. How these kids are in this film, but it's one of those films that every time that I've seen it now, I seem to notice a little bit more something that I didn't notice the last time that I watched it, and that's just a mark of a really good, solid film. There's a scene in the film when they're in this house. It's this abandoned house, and it has like a ghostly kind of vibe to it, even though it's not a ghost film, but it still just has like that haunted kind of ghost kind of feel to it, and I think it's just great. And the battle, again, guys, if you haven't seen this one, come on, go check out it. But the battle that they wage against Pennywise, these kids just wind up, really mustering the strength to not be scared, to fight this creature with these like ginormous teeth that are just like can swallow you whole. It's crazy how these kids just come together and they work together to one alone is not enough to take down Pennywise, but a group of them, that is the key to destroying Pennywise. At least till chapter two, which I still honestly I have not seen chapter two. Surprisingly enough, I have not seen it chapter two, but I think now I'm definitely gonna have to finally, after seeing this many times, I think we're gonna have to finally dive in and check that one out. But I really enjoy this film. Like I said, all the performances are fantastic, and like, it just captures that vibe. And I love how Derry looks, the town of Derry that this is all taking place in. I think it's fantastic. It has that old timey kind of feel, and it's done really really well. The it creature Pennywise, in the form of a clown, coming back after so many years. Every so many years he comes back seeking children basically to devour. And poor Georgie at the beginning. I mean, this film, if when you first saw this film in theaters, what happens to poor Georgie at the beginning, at that point, I mean, it's like within the first 5 minutes, like, okay, nothing is off the table with this one. Like, Muschietti is going to let it all fly with how he handles what happens to these kids, in this movie. And even Georgie's performance, what happens to him at the beginning is pretty good for a very, very young actor. He does a pretty convincing job. And yeah, I mean, this is just a film that, like I said, I've seen many times. And it's one of you guys, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. And don't be like me. Go check out chapter two. I've heard chapter two isn't as solid as chapter one, but still, I definitely, I know I have it on the shelf. I need to go and watch to complete the whole experience. And yeah, let's go ahead, guys. Now we're gonna wrap this review up. We're gonna get into what our next film is going to be for the month of October in our top 50 horror scratch offs. And like I said, here's the card for it. And then again, it's really cool. I love how they just give you like a little bit right here, just kind of give you an idea, a little taste, little can you figure out what the movie's gonna be? So let's go ahead and shuffle up the cards and see what is going to be our next film. Shuffle them all up. All right, and we are going to take this one right here from the top. 2004, 103 minutes, is a mystery thriller. Let's go ahead and scratch it off. There you go, guys, right here. Scratch it off and see what the next film is going to be. It is the original Saw. So I will have to dive in and check out the original Saw, which I've seen before. I'm not a big fan of the Saw franchise, but I do enjoy the first one, primarily because it is directed by Mr. James Wan, and I am a fan of Mr. James Wan's movies. So, yeah, we're going to dive in, check out good old Jigsaw and Saw from 2004. Guys, like, subscribe, and comment if you get the chance, and I'll catch you in another episode. Take care.